Let's hear from the captain. He was back tonight. He's been back for a couple of days now at the Garden. Here he was. Let me make sure my mute's not off. Here he was speaking on his potential return and when that could be. Here's Jalen Brunson. Here we go.
Progressing every day. That's just my goal for next upcoming days. Realistically, I'm hoping to play before the playoffs. I think it's just good for me to get some game reps before we go into that type of stretch run. But just most importantly, I want to make sure I'm 100% healthy.
You have that 65-game threshold, and you're obviously a top contender for all NBA and clutch player. Does that matter to you at all?
Individually, yeah, but I just want to make sure I'm fully healthy before anything. Cleared for basketball activities specifically, so.
But not contact yet.
Basketball activities, whatever that includes.
Oh, does that include contact?
It includes basketball activities. You guys are not going to get me. Feeling better.
He's not clear for contact. I mean, we got some word salad from the captain. I don't think he's clear for contact. And what he did say was right. Like, if he could, he's saying, I'm hoping I can play before the season ends because he wants to get in a rhythm before you get into the intensity, the hysteria that is playoffs. That is critical. But as he said, he's got to be 100% to do that. That is also critical. So I think this is still a day-by-day situation. You know what I mean? I'd love to see him back as soon as possible, sooner than later for sure. But we definitely need him back at 100%. You don't want him out there at risk of tweaking it again, and then you cooked for good.
Yeah, we already know how that played out when Julius rolled his ankle, man, against Miami. And then, they wanted him back, they rushed him back, and then you saw that he rolled it again in the postseason. And then we all know what happened. He needed surgery afterwards. How extensive the surgery, we'll never know, but still, you don't want that. And for JB, man, he is your franchise player. Like, everything that you did was with him in mind. So you have to treat it with kid gloves. You have to be as careful with him as possible because it's not just this season, it's the years afterwards. So they got to do everything in their power to make sure that he's 100% healthy. And I mean, look, I think we got to give credit to the medical staff this season. Most of these guys have come back healthy, looked healthy. They played a lot of games, so they're doing everything right. And I expect them to do the same thing with Jalen Brunson. But look, you definitely wanted to return, as you said, before the postseason starts to get into a rhythm. That's so critical. Wasn't it like did he miss some games last year too before the playoffs? Am I mistaken on that?
I don't remember which one. If it was the foot, I don't know if the foot was last year or the year before that. I gotta double check.
Because I know, like, the beginning of last postseason, he had a little bit of, like, he wasn't.
He definitely wasn't 100%.
No, he wasn't 100%, but you saw it took him some time to get back into rhythm.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's all I'm saying is that, especially postseason, and we saw how tough it was against Philly. Even though we have waxed the Milwaukee Bucks, you don't want to take any chances. So you just want him healthy, man. And you don't want him to take too long to get right when you need him to get going right out the gate.